So thank you so much for joining me. I want to talk a little bit about Big Nick's Ride for the Fallen. This is the 8th year for the event. That must feel crazy to you to have gone through this 8 years.
It's bittersweet is the word that we often use. You know, every time it comes up, it's something to be proud of, but it's also something that's very sad. And this year, it's actually on the day that Nick was killed. So July 23rd, 2009, and here we are, you know.
When did you decide to start this event?
It was a Marine named Ben Perry from Mashpee, who was a rider. I never rode a motorcycle in my life.
Really?
And neither did Nick, no. But Ben is a rider and a Marine, and he had gone to see Nick at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina on his motorcycle and took Nick out for dinner, and they became friends. And then when the tragedy happened, Ben reached out to me and said, you know, we should do a ride. And he's the one that started it. And
so then I'm assuming you started to pick up riding a bike.
I did.
Really quickly.
Yeah, and it's sad, but there's a powerful reason. During the funeral, you know, I was in the family car, and I really thought, you know, my life was over. And I looked at Lisa and my kids, and we were all crying, and I was holding Nick's picture, and then I heard the motorcycle go by, you know, and then another motorcycle. We were being escorted, and I don't remember much, but I remember the sound, and I looked at Lisa and I said, you know what, we're not alone. So it was the sound of the motorcycles kind of protecting us that made me want to ride.
And then that sound every year for the past 8 years, it's so amazing to hear all of those people riding for one cause. And it's such a great cause that they ride for, because all of the money raised through this event really goes to help veterans. Talk to me a little bit about the foundation, the Memorial Foundation, and what that money goes towards.
Yeah, we do have the Nicholas G. Exaros Memorial Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit, now in partnership with the Cape Cod Foundation, which is fantastic. They help us manage everything. And, you know, no one gets paid, it's just us, and whatever money we take, we give away scholarships every year at Dennis Yarmouth High School for the male and female graduating senior that does the most for others. And then we do a lot of things, and some of them are helping veterans. A lot of it is veterans. One of them is Cape Wags for Tags, which is through the MSPCA here in Centerville, where they take homeless dogs and put them with a veteran who needs someone to love. And
yeah, because we know it can make such a big difference to have an animal in your life, and really it can decrease some high blood pressure, maybe some stress a little bit.
Does.
So really good for so many reasons.
It's so many reasons, and you know, that veteran deserves a friend, and you know, that homeless dog needs a place to live. So that's a
win-win.
It is. And
you know, I want to talk to you too. I know in the past you've jumped in to help at different times. I remember last summer there was a very well publicized, a veteran had come to visit Cape Cod, didn't live here, came pretty far away to visit with his family, and he had a bag and a lot of money stolen that really hampered what they could do on vacation. They didn't have an access to quick cash right away. You came in to step out to help that veteran.
Yeah.
That must feel so great to be able to help others with this foundation.
Yes, to walk to the bank and take out whatever money is needed and put it in that veteran's family's pocket. That veteran is a United States Marine who came all the way from North Carolina, which ironically is where Nick was trained. And when, you know, the mistake that the criminal made in that event was that he did it in Yarmouth, where I'm a police officer, and we solved that mystery. That person was found in Acushnet, arrested and incarcerated. But more important, we were able to turn a negative thing for this tourist to a positive. So that family got the gas money they needed, and the restaurants came out and gave him gift cards, and they actually had a blast.
Well, I was going to say, you said it was a bad thing that it happened in Yarmouth, but I have a feeling that was such a great thing. If that was going to happen to that family, thank goodness that it happened where you could step in.
It is
and
ironic,
really, help them.
Yeah.
Because also, I know another thing that the foundation does is if veterans are trying to get, family members are trying to see their veteran maybe before they're shipped out, or maybe at a graduation ceremony. A lot of these families can't afford that trip. That's another thing that the foundation really helps to support.
It does, and we try to do that like quietly, so if anyone that needs help, they come to us and we kind of keep it quiet. But it comes from a moment that we lived through when Nicholas and his Marines made it home from Iraq. You know, we were so worried, and all families worry, and now they were home, and the planes bring them home, and then they get on buses, and then 5 buses show up at once, and 1,000 men, you know, this is an infantry battalion, get off the buses, and we were so proud that he made it home. And when he got off that bus, it was important, but I saw hundreds of Marines get off the buses, and there were nobody there.
Yeah.
And I looked at Nick and I said, "What's happening?" And he said, "Dad, their families can't afford to come." And that's why we do what we do.
Wow, I have goosebumps. It's so nice that that's there. So if anyone wants to participate, this is a great cause really to raise money for. So it's $20 a person to be a part of the ride. What if you don't have a bike but you still want to be a participant in this, or you want to participate, you want to donate money? Can you still do that?
Yeah, you can go on our website or our Facebook page or stop in and donate. But if you don't ride, one of the best things is to stand on the side of the road. It's 35 miles long. It starts at the National Cemetery where Nick rests and goes through, you know, the Cape Cod Canal, along the canal, and right through Barnstable on Route 6A. We love coming through Barnstable. It's very patriotic, especially by the courthouse. It's an amazing feeling for the 1,000 motorcycle riders to be thanked. And so if you don't ride, to stand on the side of the road with a flag or the thank you or salute. It's so powerful to the riders. Many of them are veterans. Many of them are Vietnam era veterans who were not treated well when they came home. And I've had many of them say, "Steve, thank you, because now we feel thanked." So just by being on the side of the road is fantastic. Take an hour out of your day before you go to the beach to show your gratitude.
Wow, great, wonderful. So glad to hear that. And of course, what is the website? I know this is happening Sunday, July 23rd. What is the website for individuals to learn more about?
Yeah, it's ngxride.com. So ngxride.com. It has all the information on it. It's a weekend event. You know, we have a poker run on Saturday for some riders that like to do that. But also this year we have a beach party at beautiful Sandy Neck Beach here in Barnstable, where they've agreed to set aside some spots for veterans on that day, and the Nick Foundation will pay for the food. And it's important for veterans to be with each other. You know, 22 veterans commit suicide every day in America, 22 a day.
Wow, that number is staggering.
It's staggering. So one of our things with the foundation is to stop that. So we know that putting veterans together is helpful, it's therapeutic, putting them on motorcycles, having them ride horses, or pet that homeless dog. It saves lives.
Wow, thank you so much for all that you do for this community. We really appreciate it. And of course, hoping that you have a wonderful, successful ride this year.
Thank you.
Thanks
God
so
bless.
much. Of course, our guest today, Deputy Chief Stephen Exaros.